The trails that we were hiking ended up here at the Woodlawn Museum. There are people dressed all in white playing croquet using the old-fashioned croquet mallets. The house was owned by a wealthy family in the 1800s. They traveled the world and collected all kinds of exotic animals that would roam the grounds. They had butlers and maids like Downton Abbey. Now it's a museum. We're walking to downtown Ellsworth. I'm checking out some of the old architecture along the way. That structure on top is called the Belvedere, and it's to enjoy the view, and if there's a platform around it, it's called a widow's walk, where a wife would look out for her seafaring husband, and often these women ended up being widows. This house was built in 1810 and is actually part of this motel property, which is still in business. The sign looks like it belongs in a Route 66 museum. That's an unusual looking house. Too bad it's in shambles. Civil War monument. Those two buildings back there, built in the 1830s, one was the courthouse and now they're art galleries. This architecture is called Greek Revival. Another beautiful old house. Look at the detail carved into the door. We have arrived. Is this our welcoming committee under the sign here? Hello. This is the Union River, and it provides electricity for 3,000 homes. Ellsworth burned to the ground in 1933. 130 buildings were destroyed, which included homes and businesses. It was bad enough that they were going through the Great Depression, and then so many people lost everything. "14 fire departments were called to help, but it was absolute chaos. A farmer described as mentally deficient admitted to starting the fire in the Bijou movie theater. He was sent to the state hospital for the criminally insane in Bangor, Maine. There's the marquee of the movie theater that replaced the Bijou Theater. It's called the Grand. So most of these buildings were built after 1933. The original ticket booth. We had to cross the street to see the Grand's Art Deco design from that era. Beautiful. They still use it for concerts and plays. Retro candy. This is before my time. Maybe my parents would know these. I remember wax lips. You'd wear them and then chew on the wax like gum. They tasted like wax too, no flavor. Candy cigarettes. The campground I was just at in New Hampshire was selling candy cigarettes. I was shocked that they still make them. The clerk told me they're hard to get. I'm outside of an art gallery here, and this sculpture looks like a sex doll. There's a common sight in Maine. Beautiful old library. We're taking a rest before we walk the 1.5 miles back to the campground. I'm about to cook up some food over my first campfire. That grate is supposed to be attached to a post in the ground, but this ground is layers of rock, so the post isn't going to happen. So I'll be putting the grate directly on the fire ring. It should work out just as well. There's my fire looking good. My first campfire. When it dies down some, I'll put the food on. I'm cooking peppers and lobster tail, which I bought at Door's Lobster and Seafood Store. They'll ship a lobster anywhere in the country for $165. There it is. Shrimp you'll have some too. Looks perfect. Ready for butter. I'm on my way back to Rhode Island, and I'm spending a night at my first KOA campground in Durham, Maine. KOAs are a franchise of campgrounds. Nice shady spot. This is a boondock fail. Tropical Storm Henri just happened, and I had to leave a hotel parking lot I was going to stay in because it was invaded by storm-related utility trucks. And then I find this nice big empty Holiday Inn parking lot, and I settle into a quiet corner alone, and then boom. All these guys suddenly appear and surround me. So I'm going to get the heck out of here.